Young people, I know you think that you're all that, and you are, but allow yourself to be trained because the training produced something. I just didn't learn skill in the training. I learned how to take adversity and get up in training. I learned that there was a point that I would push myself to, but I needed someone to push me past that point that I thought. Any athletes in here where you were running, but you had a coach that said, no, you got one more in you. Keep pushing. Lightweight, push it up. Give my testimony why training was so important. When I was young, I was born with a condition. It was formed in the womb. It was called congenital radioulnar synaptosis. It's a mouthful. But essentially what it is that the bones in my arm fused. And so this is how far my hands can go. My parents, they were a little up in age when they had me. They're in their 40s, and I was probably a uh-oh, but that was cool because I still had purpose. And I would just try to do things. And it would be different. And people would look at me funny, like, why are you holding your hands like that? What are you, and it created something in me, and it made me insecure. I had self-esteem issues. But the one thing was that I was trained at home, that my brothers and my parents didn't treat me any differently. They didn't care about that. I was taught things like, whatever you put your hands to, you finish it. That not only you finish it well. That's what I was trained. I was trained to say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir. I still say it. I was trained to say thank you. Man, my parents were so strict, man. When we were going somewhere and we were going to have dinner, they would make us eat at home so we wouldn't ask for nothing when we went somewhere. I was being trained. I remember my brother training me. He's probably about 17 years older. And when I used to go outside and play basketball, because there was no such word as can't. That if I went and I said, I can't do it because my hands, I said, find a way. You find a way to do it. I don't want that excuse. You find a way. And so I'll go play ball with my brother. I'll be outside shooting. He'll come out and he'll spend time with me and play ball. But he was from the old school, man. He was rough. He fouled a lot. The joke always fouled. So every time I went to the hole, he'll send an elbow. Boom. He'll knock me down. And I look up at him. He said, you better not tell mama. Get up. Get the ball. Take it back out. And I come back to the hole. He'll hit me again. Boom. Ball go flying. Like, man, you tripping, man. He said, get up. Do it again. And we kept going. We kept pounding. We kept working. Until I went to high school and was playing basketball, that I was looking for contact. I wanted you to foul me because I was going to put the ball in a hole anyway. Is that all you had? I was being trained to take a hit and keep going. Some of you give up too soon. Some of you can't take a hit. But I declare that you can get up no matter. In the household I grew up in, it wasn't an excuse. Never got cut from a team, never got cut from a basketball team or football. Whatever I put myself to, I made it through it. I got pushed. Not only that, I got trained. I was trained to succeed. I was trained not to give up. Not to say I didn't get knocked down. It was one thing we used to do in football that when we trained, we would hit the ground and we would see how fast it is for you to get back on your feet. Why? Why would you train me to hit the ground and get my feet? Because you don't get knocked down sometimes. And it's not about how, if you get knocked down, it's how long you're going to stay there. Get back on your feet, get ready to make a play. Get back up, get back in the game. And I used to ask God, because I went to college on a football scholarship with hands that don't work like everybody else. And it was a time when my parents released me and I went to school. And it was times where I couldn't make tackles like everyone else. And I couldn't do it. I said, Lord, if you just made me like everybody else, if you hadn't done me like this, I could probably go to the NFL. Why'd you do me like this? Why? Is this love? What'd I do to deserve this? Everybody else can turn their hands over. Everybody else got the full function of their limbs. And this is as far as mine can go. Why'd you do me like this? Why? And the Lord spoke to me. He said, look, son, I didn't make you like everybody else because you're not like everybody else. But my deformity didn't stop my purpose. That even though I was deformed, I still had purpose. God said your purpose wasn't to go to the NFL. And so then when he spoke to me, my declaration changed. My question changed. It was no longer, Lord, why'd you make me like this? To, Lord, why did you make me like this? For what purpose? For who? Who am I supposed to speak to? Who am I supposed to lay hands on? You made me like this for a reason. You don't make mistakes. I'm not a mistake. Something may not went just right, but that's okay. I'm not a mistake. To know that even with a deformity, you still got purpose. And they knew that if I didn't get trained, my condition would overcome me. But I had to flip it. I had to overcome my condition. So now I don't want excuses. It talks about children are a heritage from the Lord. Oh, God. Better the fruit of the womb is reward as arrows in the hand of a mighty man. An arrow. Young people, the Lord describes you as an arrow that's in the hand of a mighty man. And I thought about that time in the Bible when they were preparing for war, and I can see an archer taking his time to sit down and carve out his weapon. The time it took, how intimate he must have been with every arrow he made, because the arrow was being made with purpose. The arrow had to go somewhere. The arrow wasn't going to just stay here. I'm preparing my arrow to go somewhere. I need it to be straight. I need the point to be sharp. I need the fletchings to be just right because I need this thing to fly. So I'm preparing it. I'm getting ready for war. And so I don't think you know what's in your house. The Lord calls your children arrows. You should be so careful of getting ready for war that you're sharpening your arrows. You're spending time with your arrows because you're, let me tell you this, a warrior loves the arrow. Why? The arrow can go where I can't. Where I can't get to, my arrows can get to. And become time to release and I let it go. See, I spent too much time on my arrows to shoot it blindly. I'm too intimate with my arrow. I don't just close my eyes and just let my arrow go. I take my time, and so whenever my arrow goes to school, I come home and I check my arrow. I want to make sure my arrow hadn't got damaged. Sometimes my arrow may get a chip in it, and I got to sit down and talk to my arrow. What happened today, arrow? Because, see, I can't afford for you to get damaged. I need you to go somewhere because I'm preparing you. I'm training you. One second definition of training, you think about training, running, and exercising. But when you aim a weapon, it's called you're training it on an object. So when I train my children, I'm pointing at something. I'm taking my arrow back. I'm drawing it close to me. So when I release it, I'm releasing it to its purpose.